Earthfire here. Today I'm going to be making black salt, so I thought I would share it with you. I needed some more. I'm literally maybe have one use left, so I really needed to make some more, and I thought that I would go ahead and film while I was doing it. So I'm going to start off by saging my area. You can cleanse your area however you would like. I'm using a sage bundle, but you could use, a cleansing water, you could use frankincense, you could use whatever it is that you do to cleanse your area, and this is just what I use. And I'm going to be cleansing all of my tools. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to start off with is the charcoal. You can take a charcoal disc like this and crush it up and use that. This is actual like charcoal that you buy for your barbecue that my husband and I ground up, and we powderized it. We were making our own charcoal discs, and this is what was left over, and I used it for my black salt. So I may come back and add more of this depending on what it looks like in the end. I do tend to like to have mine as black as I can get it. So I'm going to start off with about 2 spoonfuls. Now that I think about it, I probably should have done the salt first. So I'm just going to pour this in because I don't want to get black all over into my salt. So I'm just going to add the salt, and this is just sea salt. You may not want to make as much as I am, but like I said, I'm completely out, and I really don't like having to make it all the time, so I make bigger batches of stuff. So the next thing that I will be adding is some frankincense. You can use dragon's blood if you have it. I have frankincense, so that's what I use. And I like using frankincense in my protection salt. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this up. And hopefully this is not too hard for my wooden I should have brought out my other mortar and pestle. Okay, so I ground the frankincense up. I'm going to add that. And then the next thing I'm going to add is cinnamon. I pretty much add cinnamon to every one of my protection mixtures. It's my go-to for protection. And that's about 2 spoonfuls. The next thing I have is I have some incense ash here. You can use whatever ash that you want. If you have a fire pit, you can use the ash from that. If you, like I said, if you have a fireplace, you can use the incense from that. I'm going to put this in here to try and grind it up a little bit. It's still a little lumpy. So when I light an incense, I take the ash, like I did here. So I lit this incense earlier when I came out here, and I just take the ash from it and add it to this jar, and I collect it for my black salt. I'm actually going to start adding ash from my husband's forge when he's doing his forging outside. I'm going to go collect the ash from that. I should have done that before I filmed, but I forgot. So I'm just going to go ahead and use what I got here and try and remember to do that before I go back inside. But I'm just going to grind this up because it was still a little chunky, and I'm going to add that. So ash is very protective in itself. It has the fire element to it. And then the next thing that I'm going to add is some rosemary. Rosemary is another one of those herbs that I use a lot for protection. So I'm going to put that in the mortar and pestle and grind it up. And then add that. And then the next thing is eggshell. Eggshell, to me, is very protective. You know, the shell is designed to protect the unborn bird inside. So to me, it just screams protection. So I add that to my protection salt as well. I do like to have the eggshell ground up as fine as I can get it. So that's the eggshell. Okay, and then the next thing is sage. This is sage powder. It's like what you buy in the food section, you know, the spice section of your store. And I'm just going to add a spoonful of that. And then the last thing is black pepper. And just a little bit of that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up and see kind of where the coloring is. Some of the other things that you could add is you could add black food coloring if you wanted. I find that the charcoal does just fine in coloring it. You can also add chili powder or red pepper flakes if you would like. And that is just the leftover from I had before, so I'm just mixing it in. And I just chopped up another charcoal disc. Okay, so there is the salt completed. That made way more than what I thought it was going to make. I think I'm going to need a bigger jar. So I'm going to enchant it for protection. If you have a specific purpose that you want this black salt for, then you can enchant it for that purpose. But if you just want general protection, then just enchant it for general protection. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so that is my version of black salt. You'll just want to put it in a jar, and then some of the ways that you can use it are you can use it in any protection workings that you're doing. So if you do like a daily protection candle, you can use it for that. If you do protection boundaries around your home, you could use it for that. It's really great to be putting in your window sills and in outside and front, outside your doorstep, both front and back. You can add it to sachets. The sky's the limit, however you would like to use it, but there's so many different ways you can make black salt. This is just my version, and as you can tell, this time it didn't turn out as black as I would like, but I went a little overzealous on the cinnamon. But it's all about the intention, not necessarily about the color, so it'll still do its job even though it's not black. This is also really great to, if you have children, especially small children who are susceptible to spirit interaction. This will help if you put it in a sachet underneath their bed, like underneath their mattress. It will help with that. It can also be used in your vehicles, which is the first thing that I'm going to be doing with it. Is we've been having a lot of problems with theft and vandalism and stuff like that in our general town, and it's creeping closer to our house, so I want to get some of this in our vehicles to make sure that none of our vehicles get tampered with or stolen, and that will be the first thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting it underneath the mats on the floor, and that will protect our cars from any wrongdoing. But like I said, you could put it around your property. You could put it in, you know, at your doorways, in your window seals, if you know, around your cars, in your cars, you know, use it for any type of protection workings that you're doing. And hopefully you guys like this, and let me know if you try it, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be.